This story is about the summer I spent working with elephants in Thailand. Believe it or not, my journey started with a simple Google search, which eventually led me to discover Volunteering Solutions, the organization that sponsored the trip that would change my life forever. Surin, Thailand. It is here that Volunteering Solutions sends people, like me, to begin their experience. From here, the volunteers venture to a small village just outside of the main city to begin working with the elephants. During my trip, I resided at the home of Mr. Lee, a Thai man who, although he didn't speak an ounce of English, made us feel at home with countless pranks, stories, and games. My friends Rosie, Katrina, and I stayed with the Lee family for the entire month of July. Like many families in the village, the Lees own an elephant. Their elephant, Katine, was just about 1 year old when I was visiting. Of course, being that I had never lived with an elephant before, I spent quite a bit of my time visiting Katine. In fact, whenever we had a free moment, volunteers could be seen making her famous with an endless number of pictures, which she actually seemed to enjoy quite a bit. Although Katine was too young for us to ride, there were plenty of other elephants in the village to choose from. I ended up developing a very special bond with a 6-year-old elephant named Numcho, who I rode almost every single day that I was in Thailand. The highlight of our day was always going to the water, where I would help bathe her, and somehow she managed to get me to take a swim myself most days. When we weren't with the elephants, there was plenty of other things volunteers were able to help with. We worked very closely with the village school and the children that went there. They were always so happy to be with us and were constantly asking to be in a selfie. I remember working with the children for about a week, planting bamboo for the elephants. A large portion of our time was also dedicated to the elephant dung paper factory. It was here that the other volunteers and myself spent our time making paper out of, you might have guessed it, elephant poop. As disgusting as that sounds, and definitely sounded to us when we first started the project, we realized that this industry is one of the main sources of revenue for the Surin economy, so we knew that we were helping the elephants by doing this. I actually liked making the elephant poo paper so much that I asked if that was what we could do on my birthday. I turned 20 years old during my trip, and it was a birthday that I will never forget. Not only did I make poo paper, but I got to meet and take pictures with the baby elephant that was at the factory. At first, he was a little frisky, but he was also incredibly loving and allowed me to get one of the most favorite pictures that I have from my trip. After this, we went back to Mr. Lee's house where him and my coordinator, Juan, surprised me with a birthday cake. It's safe to say that my 20th birthday truly was one of the best days of my life. As a volunteer, one of the best parts of my day was playing with the children who came to Mr. Lee's house in the afternoon. They were so excited that we were there and always carried around a pack of Uno cards, their favorite game to play. These kids were truly incredible. As little as they had, they were among the happiest kids that I have ever had the opportunity to work with. By the end of my trip, each and every one of these children had touched my life. Working with elephants is something I've always wanted to do, and my experience through Volunteering Solutions was absolutely incredible. I wouldn't trade the month I spent in Thailand for anything in the world. I met so many amazing people from all sorts of parts of the world, and together we had some pretty unforgettable adventures. There were so many people who I grew close to that I'm still in touch with today. The trip helped me make some lifelong friends. Thailand will always hold a very special place in my heart. And although my first trip will probably always be my best, I hope to one day return for another incredible elephant encounter.